Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be discussing the, laziness of the Sullivans. I don't want to categorize the kids as being lazy, but it's been allowed to stay off school at the drop of a hat. That is a bit of a problem. So recently we had Toby, who has had admittedly some problems at school lately, was allowed to stay off because he had a sore throat.
Also, Toby is off today because he's got a very sore throat, so he's staying off.
However, later that day, at the end of the school day, he came out all, happy and looking well, in fact, to go for some sweeties.
Right, Toby's feeling a lot better. Erin obviously is feeling a lot better because she came out for a walk with me earlier. Should we go to the shop then?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then head home?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Now, your son has had a sore throat, and that's why he was off school, right? And you allow him to go out, not only allow him to go out in the evening or the afternoon, but you allow him to go out in his shorts. Now, you'll know that a sore throat is kind of linked to maybe you've had a cold or something like that. And then why don't you tell him to put some trousers on? You're not going out in shorts. Wrap up a little bit. Maybe your cold or your sore throat will dissipate. But, it seems to be a thing, I guess, in their family that if you have a little bit of a tickle of a throat, you might be allowed to stay off. I believe that's not the first time that's actually happened for that particular child, but it seems to happen quite often for most of them. Now, I don't know where they get this lack of work ethic from. Do you, Ben? Any clues on this one? Because ever so recently, you yourself have happened to have to relinquish your position at your job, right?
And I need a shirt and tie because I'm nearing the end of my current contract. So I've been a contractor for 15 months for Boeing, and I'm nearing the end of my contract. So that's that. So I'm currently looking at the moment for another job, and I have 2 job interviews, which I'm really pleased about. So I've got 2 job interviews, and they're jobs I'd take either of them, to be honest. That is Tuesday, Wednesday tomorrow. I am my last day of work tomorrow.
So yeah, his last day of work was the Wednesday. Now, I can't quite put my finger on why they might not have renewed his contract, because I'm not buying that his contract was just stipulated for just the 15 months, because every contract usually they extend it if they're happy with your work a lot of the time. Okay, some not so much, but a lot of the time there is the possibility of an extension. But let's have a little look at the last week of your working at your job. So working backwards, the day before his last day, on the Tuesday, it was his second job interview in which he had the full day off.
So I'm just going to gather my thoughts for 10 minutes before I wander over and go for the interview. Yeah. Interview number 2. Yes, I have got literally everything crossed for this one, so I'm hoping that I do all right.
Now, the day before, on the Monday, he did in fact go to work, so kudos to him. Then obviously he had the entire weekend off, but the Friday prior to that, he also had the day off for his first job interview.
Okay guys, that's me ready. I'm going to go over now, I'm going to drive over to Elgin, I'm going to go for the job interview, and then I'll report back to you after. Wish me luck! Okay guys, so that went well. So I got the job.
Fortunately, as we've already discussed, he did in fact get that job offer, so that was great. But the day before that, on the Thursday, it was a snow day. He had the day off.
And I am not supposed to be here, I'm supposed to be at work. However, we have had blizzard conditions. Snow last night, snow this morning. I did actually go to work this morning, but the weather was that bad, I thought, No. So after about an hour, I came home again, emailed the boss and like came home again, and said I was going to go home and give Zoe a hand and all that kind of stuff. But okay, guys, this has been absolutely magic this morning. Just what the doctor ordered. Bit of snow, a bit of sun, a bit of sledging. Lovely, bit of fresh air. Right, I'm going to let them have a couple more slides and then we're going to go home. We may even make a snowman in the garden this afternoon. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how we get on.
Yes, that did actually happen. You didn't just dream it. Ben went into work and then emailed them from work to say that he couldn't go to work because it was snowing. Right, so from work he decided to go home and spend the day with his kids going
blowing a hoolie over there, but I'm just going to do a pan.
I've no words for that level of incompetence. I'm sorry. So so far on his days off, he has been off for the 2 days that he said, Thursday and Friday, and then he had the weekend off. And since then he's just been hanging about. I'm not quite sure what entirely he's been doing, except for he's been going for walks in the woods. So yeah, so far nothing.
Can you hear the birds?
If I was in his position and I had 14 mouths
absolutely
to feed,
stunning,
including 12 kids of my own,
fantastic.
You know, I would be
right. We're going to head home because Florence is getting very hungry now, and so is Joseph.
Job, he said,
and that is literally a 40-minute walk
start the job yet.
from our house to the woods. Have a walk around,
the actual job,
enjoy a bit of fresh air,
offer from,
and it just cleanses the soul.
One, which we all know
it really does.
His preferred job, obviously. But in the meantime, maybe he could take the first job offer and go and start work and make a bit of money, or does he not need the money? That's the question, because isn't he getting like £800 a month at the moment through child payments, Scottish child payments, as it says here? So Scottish child payment is £25 per week per eligible child, payable every 4 weeks. That's £100 a month, right? So there's no limit on the amount of children you can claim for. So this is a Scottish thing. I think in England there would be a limit on that. But so that's £100 a month per child that is eligible, right? And prior to this week, it was in fact for 10 children, so they were getting £100 a month. But according to this, as soon as you hit your 16th birthday, you are no longer eligible. And as we know, 2 of them had their birthdays this past week, so that's £200 a month, Ben, that you've lost in child payments, right? So £200 less. You're going to have to make that up somehow, or in the case of one of your twins, put them out to work straight away, right? So the very week that you lose the Scottish child payments for your 2 twins, you know, you set one of them out on a quest to launch her very own business, and yeah, it seems a little bit harsh, you know. But then again, she's got to replace that £200 a month that you've lost now, isn't it? Although, that being said, you might not be too much worse off anyway due to the child benefit element. If you are keeping them in education until the age of 20, they will still get something, as we can see here by the chart. There's a little bit, possibly a little bit less than you were on before, but still a little bit more coming in. So with that being said, Ben, are you going to set to try and get a job at any point? Because it seems like to me that your contract was coming to an end, and then you started getting these interviews. Why didn't you, if you knew your contract was ending, why didn't you start lining up lots more interviews prior to that? And, you know, it doesn't seem like you're starting a job, or you're relying on this really good job that you really, really want, and you don't know if you're going to get it. You don't have any clue whether or not you are in with a shout of getting it. But there you go. I'm not in your position, thankfully. On another note, I've noticed quite a lot, Ben, that your kids, especially the older ones, don't tend to like to be on camera that much, right? And that should be quite telling. However, when you do things like this...
Everyone up from school, I've got a car full, so I've got Erin, Toby and Joseph as well, and Noah, because Noah's playing football this afternoon. Noah, who's ignoring the camera at the moment. So Noah's been playing football, so I picked him up as well.
So despite the fact that you acknowledged that he was ignoring the camera and he looked very uncomfortable in front of the camera, obviously didn't want to be on the camera, you carried on filming. You know, does that not tell you something, that he didn't want to be on the camera just then and you should have said, okay, no problem, we'll edit you out or we'll stop filming or something like that? But maybe it's more important that you become this YouTube famous dad that you wish you were, right? Anyway, that's just a quick catch up on the insanity that is Ben and his search for work. You know, possibly he might not be after work. I don't know. His recent vlog, which said something along the lines of "I love being at home." Yeah, maybe that's him trying to tell us that he doesn't want to go to work at all. Maybe he can live off the benefits that they receive for their multiple children. Something. I don't know. Anyway, if you have any thoughts about this, please let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new to get some more quality Sullivan's content. Until next time, take care of yourselves and bye bye.